Money order. Check.
I'll do that. That way you can't see anything there. All right, we are live.
Live and in living color.
That's it. Okay, and also here,
Oh, what's that? Oh, that's just like a little slate.
Yeah, because
Sure.
I can't figure out yet how to do the. There's a thing you can do with the video to get the caption on, but YouTube won't let you do it anymore for some stupid reason.
Interesting.
So I have to get some kind of weird software.
Oh, those YouTuber guys.
Such and such guys. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. Welcome. You're listening to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Vern Glenn, who is from CBS affiliate KPIX TV in San Francisco.
CBS,
And,
your home
and
of the NCAA tournament.
Oh, that's right.
Da, 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 da.
Is that
Right.
is that the music?
That's the CBS little jingle.
Oh,
Sure.
gotcha. Okay. Not dun 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 dun. dun. That's
No. That's
okay. And
that would be the Olympics.
That would be the Olympics. Yes. And obviously, you know what the 5 rings stand for.
The 5 continents.
There you go. See, smart guy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty easy one, right?
Slap me in the head. I every now and then I'll get it right.
That's right. But see, the reason I asked you that easy one is because today's trivia theme is tough sports questions.
Tough sports questions.
Sports ones. We're going to see.
I'll give you some answers. They may not be the right ones, but I'll give you some answers.
Yeah, you always got answers. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because at each commercial break, we're going to ask a sports trivia question. And you can listen to Sports Econ 101 on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Sports Byline USA, and Stitcher. I never heard of Stitcher before.
I haven't either. But if they get the questions right, Edward, tell them what they want.
Well, today we're just going to see if they know the answers. Because these
okay.
are tough. These are tough.
All right.
This segment of Sports Econ 101 is sponsored by Pacific Private Money, providing mortgage investments that are currently yielding over 7.25% secured by real estate. Doesn't get any more conservative than that. You got to check them out at pacificprivatemoney.com. And let's see, today we're going to talk a little bit NCAA, right?
Yeah, the NCAA men's basketball tournament is here. March Madness, folks.
You're going to be a
March
busy
Madness.
guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be really busy. On the TV side, working for CBS, so we carry most of the games.
Yeah.
We partner with TBS and other stations that CBS has agreements with or owns. And we just go right through the end of the month. Right to the one shining moment.
That's right, April 8th, I believe it is.
That Monday night, we will crown a 2019 NCAA champion.
All right, stay with us. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be right back. All right, what do you think? Right on the money? So we go ahead and save this file. Ian's got to watch the business show last time. We had a super lawyer, Jeff Lerman, on. It's pretty good.
And I'm sure you lean forward with interest.
Hey, no eating on the set. No, stop.
Well, we're in a break.
I just want to see your face. Oh gosh.
I did a radio interview with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar once, and he ate throughout the entire interview.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. He just.
I mean, could
It
you
was
tell
some
he was
sponsor
eating?
thing. He didn't want to. Yeah, he wanted to do it, but he was obligated. But I don't know who was eating, but man, his lips were smacking. They're on every other word.
We had a guy on one time. It was really kind of wild because this guy was a doctor, but he was a little out there, and he ended up he was eating like a banana, and he puts it down, and he's jingling with his keys, and you can hear all the stuff that's going on. And that guy, he ended up going to jail because he drove under the influence of drugs, and he killed somebody.
Karma.
Yeah.
Karma will get you.
His first time. And that was one of the biggest YouTube hits I had.
Mm-hmm.
they go, I want to check this guy out. You know?
Sure.
All right. You okay?
Yeah.
All right. I want to see you eat on the set on TV.
I did. I've done that a couple of times.
No, I mean on the air.
Yeah, on the air.
Oh.
but it was a food. It was like a tailgating food
Oh,
theme
that
thing.
doesn't count.
So you have the guy on, you go, oh, boy, it tastes good.
No,
Even
I'm
it
not
really
talking
does.
about like, okay, we're gonna go to the see how Duke's doing today. Yeah.
On my last show, when I get thrown out of this business, and when it doesn't matter, then I can do it.
There you go. All right, you ready? Here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm Edward Brown, along with Vern Glenn.
That's right.
Bruce is off today. So, Vern, boy, you're the lucky guy. You get to cover all the NCAA tournaments. Right?
Well, being a local sports TV guy, you have to cover it all. Yes, we have the NCAA tournament, but we also have the Giants open. They open on the road against San Diego, so I have to go to San Diego for that one. We have the A's who are currently in Japan as we take this show. So we have to, when they come back, it'll be that whole Bay Bridge series right through their opener. The Sharks are driving toward the playoffs if they can ever win a game and actually clinch a spot.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Golden State Warriors, along with all the other things. We have soccer, we've got college, we've got high school. Yeah, we cover just the Bay Area themed sports.
And then what specific ones are covered by CBS specifically? We got March Madness.
Oh, the networks?
Yeah.
Well, it's the big ones. We have March Madness. The next big one will be the Masters from Augusta.
Okay.
That'll be the beginning of April. Those are the two big nuggets as we get closer and closer to, say, like the NFL draft. But that's at the end of April.
And do you ever get to go to Augusta to
I have never been to Augusta to cover an event like that. Here's how it works for the budget conscious listeners out there. The suits will only spend money that they can get back. That's the way it works. Revenue for a television station is from the advertising that the sales department sells.
Yeah.
So if they send me to Augusta to cover the Masters, there must be some sort of post-round show, something that they can sell, a show that you can do like following the round. We have a show at KPX. It's called The Par 5. And whenever CBS has an event like the Masters or the AT&T National Pebble Beach Pro-Am, we will have a show where we'll have a former player on, and we talk about the round and what happened and what to look for, and you get those kind of insights.
Mm-hmm.
But those commercial breaks, those advertising that's sold, that's the money that's driven in, and that would pay my freight. An event like the Masters, budgets being the way it is in the local TV standpoint, they have to be very careful about what they spend their money on. So to send me to Augusta, it's the air freight, it's the hotel, it's the satellite time, it's the time difference. Do we really want to pay for Vern to be on at 2:00 in the morning Eastern time to drop in and say, hey, I'm holding a Channel 5 mic flag at Augusta at 11 p.m. Pacific time? Because it's a live shot. Gotcha. Do you want to pay for that? Then you got to pay for the photographer to shoot it. Yeah. So it's all those things wrapped up into one, and the budget can be enormous.
So what do? They just get an affiliate or there to do it and then just send it over?
Well, we would only scramble to do that if a guy from the Bay Area was on the verge of winning it or in contention of winning it. If you were playing the Masters and all of a sudden you're in the final group on that Sunday, we're scrambling because, hey, it's a local guy that's on the verge of winning the Masters. Then you can justify spending that money. We just had a business decision made regarding the NCAA tournament. St. Mary's, which is the lone local men's team that's in the field from the Bay Area, their first round game is in Hartford, Connecticut. They're playing Villanova. Well, that's 3 time zones away. Yeah. It's not even on CBS. It's on TBS. It's on a Thursday at 4:20 Pacific. So we have a show that night, but our show, we don't go on the air until 9 p.m. Pacific. And so our news director just looked at it, looked at the cost of sending me to Hartford, what it would cost. He just didn't think it was worth it for a team that could play Villanova and be run right out of the building. Yeah. Then so you spend thousands of dollars for one game.
Yeah.
Just to have a guy standing on the court wearing a Channel 5 bike flag. It's just not. It's
No,
just. It's just
it
not.
totally
It's
makes
just
sense.
not worth it.
Now, if
But
they,
but 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 the regular fan out there watching, they don't understand that. They don't even care.
yeah,
You know, these just oh well, gee, St. Mary's is there. Well, why aren't you there? Well, you know.
yeah. Now, if for some reason St. Mary's has an upset,
Well then they would play. It's a Thursday Saturday deal. So if they would win, say on a Thursday, the next game would be on a Saturday. And as I quickly look at my bracket here, if St. Mary's were to beat Villanova, then they would probably be playing either Purdue or Old Dominion in the next round. That would be a Saturday game
where
in Hartford, Connecticut.
Still
Yeah,
Hartford, okay.
because that's the region. So you got to get out of that region in order to move on.
Do you think they would send you there if they if they beat Villanova? Do you think they'd send you to the next game?
No, because then you're not getting anything out of it. If they beat Villanova on Thursday, then I would have to fly to Hartford on Friday.
Yeah.
By the time I get to Hartford, there's nothing I can really turn around for the local news back here. So then we're into Saturday's game.
Yeah.
That yeah, I could cover Saturday's game, but you're paying thousands of dollars to really cover a game where your stuff is only going to be on maybe 2 newscasts tops on Saturday. Is it really worth it? Yeah. Now, if I was out, say, first flight out on Friday, flew to Hartford, maybe I could turn something around to appear on, say, the early show on Friday, but snap. There's no early show on Friday because there's NCAA games on CBS. So it'd be great to be there on a Friday, but I don't get a chance to get on the air because we have games going on.
Yeah. Well, you have a few people full time just to handle the schedule.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I say we in television,
yeah.
well, we know what the deal is.
Yeah.
But the fan, especially the fringe fan, which is really kind of the base audience,
yeah,
they don't know. They don't know. They don't care. They just turn on the TV and go, "Where's Vern?" They don't understand the business part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just can't fly all over the country for everything.
No, you can't.
How do you have to fly like red eyes?
I take red eyes all the time. I love red eyes because I can sleep on a plane. I mean, I don't, it's no consequence to me because I travel with the Raiders during the NFL season. The Raiders, that's a big revenue generating thing because you get a lot of eyeballs in the set for every Raider game. So when we have them on the air, it's easy to sell a post game show. We go half hour to an hour after the game live on the air, where we have the talent on set with the ex-athlete talking about what happened and why. And then let's go out to Vern, who's in Baltimore, standing by with a player. So I'm there with, maybe I have 2, maybe 3 players live on the show. And then once we're off the air, I get the rest of my interviews. And then I have to craft a post-game story that'll air in a later show that night. So.
Did they fly you first class?
No. No.
Don't you have enough frequent flyer miles to upgrade?
Yeah, well, you have to. I have frequent flyer miles, but you have to kind of pick and choose. I could understand doing it for a West Coast to East Coast flight, but I'm not gonna waste that for a Raiders Seattle game.
No, not for that. No, I think it's funny. My wife and I were talking about this, and we decided after flying business class, which to me business and first are close enough,
right?
From Europe. We just decided to treat ourselves. We decided anything over 3 hours, we're going to go first class or business class. Because it's just, obviously going from here to LA or wasted on that. But anything over 3 hours, like we have to go to Louisiana in May, and it's like, yeah, we're doing that. It's amazing how.
Yeah, but when you're traveling with your wife, I mean, that's not a business trip. I mean, you guys are going to have fun. I mean, when I'm flying, it's a business trip. I'm worried about getting there. I'm worried about getting my gear. As soon as I land, I have to shoot and turn around a story to send back.
Well, and I can't sleep on planes. Even
you can't?
I cannot.
No matter what. Why?
It's just bouncing around and the noise.
But Edward, the bouncing around will rock you to sleep.
Well, that's true. Unless it's.
Oh no.
Okay, hey, we're gonna get to our first trivia question break here. Again, these are some of these are hard. Okay, which golfer said, "I have a tip that will take 5 strokes off anyone's golf game. It's called an eraser."
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I like that. All right, email.
That sounds like something Lee Trevino would say.
That is something that he would say. He's
Mhm.
not the right guy, though.
Okay.
All right. Email Edward at sportsecon101.com the answer to this question. Which golfer said, I have a tip that will take 5 strokes off anyone's golf game? It's called an eraser. I don't think you're allowed to do that, are you?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. Stay tuned.
Off camera, we have an intern watching, and he's probably saying to himself, "Who's Lee Trevino?"
Yeah, exactly. And we'll be right back. He retired, what, in the 1980 maybe?
From the PGA, but then he played on the senior
Yeah.
tour, for a while. He does some exhibitions, but in that vein, as far as millennials not knowing who certain people are.
Yeah.
We this week I was at the Niners,
Uh-huh.
and they brought in their 2 new linebackers, a guy named Quan Alexander and a guy named D Ford, who played with the Chiefs last year. D Ford is the guy that was lined up off sides. Chiefs got whistled for it, and it cost them the game. The AFC
That's
Championship game.
inexcusable.
Anyway, well, he plays for the Niners now, and they're both from a little town about the size of this piece of paper called Anniston, Alabama.
Okay.
And I just happen to know that Eric Davis, who was a great defensive back for the 49ers, was also from Anniston.
Really?
Yeah. So we're doing a Q&A, and I just threw it out. I go, hey, Anniston, Alabama. Hey, how about Eric Davis? I mean, he's one of the great 49ers. He's from Anniston. Crickets.
You think that someone from
Kyle Shanahan was was with them, the coach.
Yeah.
And he had to tell him. Yeah, he played for us.
Well, no, the thing is, you think that someone like that would be famous because it's a small town.
You would. But that's what I was thinking. Guess I thought wrong.
Me and Vern, we remember Red Grange.
Number 77.
Was that what number he was?
Mm-hmm.
They even had numbers back then. Yeah, I guess they had to.
Oh, yeah. Guys were wearing 98, 77. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not a number for a player.
I think Otto Graham wore number 60.
Yes.
When he was a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I did. Yes, he did. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here along with Vern Glenn. First trivia question was kind of a funny one. Which golfer said, I have a tip that will take 5 strokes off anyone's golf game? It's called an eraser.
You got me. I mean,
you know the golfer. Name a famous golfer.
Yeah, it's like choosing your favorite kid. I mean, there's so many out. Let me see. I guess Lee Trevino. I was wrong. Let me see here. Johnny Miller, too uptight to say something like that.
Who just passed away?
How about Buzzy Nelson?
No,
he probably would have said something like that.
No, he passed away. I think about a year ago.
Year ago. He's gone.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, who's one of those famous golfers of all time?
Oof. Oh, Arnold Palmer said.
Arnold Palmer
said that?
Yeah. No wonder he won so many tournaments.
Funny.
He had a big eraser. No, he was a very good golfer.
Arnie's Army.
Arnie's Army. That's right. It's pretty funny on the commercial too with the
tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about his golf game. So, who do you like in the NCAA? I mean, Duke. Man,
I've got in this particular bracket, and I've reserved to change my mind. I didn't have an eraser, Edward, so I just kind of like scribbled out in pen. But I've just going out of my mind because I see so many potential upsets. I mean, anything from Wofford beating Seton Hall to but I do have the 4 number ones, one of which is my alma mater, going to the Final Four.
Virginia.
I got Duke, Virginia, North Carolina, and Gonzaga. And I know that one of these number ones is not going to make it, but after what happened to UVA against UMBC last year, I am confident that their focus is right there and that they'll make it to the Final Four in Minneapolis.
Hey, didn't Adam Morrison play for Gonzaga?
He did.
And okay, it's funny.
He was the guy that lost to UCLA in the regional final. It was in Oakland, and he was at midcourt just crying like a baby because his career was over.
I mean,
they had the lead in that game, and UCLA came back to win it.
Well, you say his career. I mean,
his college career.
Yeah. Because he was. I guess he did he did go to the NBA for a
Yeah,
very
yeah,
short time. Like,
NBA for like a cup of coffee, but
Yeah.
he was a great clutch player. He could create his own shot, and he was just dynamic for Gonzaga. And I can remember that night because we were supposed to be live after that game, and when Gonzaga was way up, I had I had slanted my report kind of toward Gonzaga,
Yeah.
with all kinds of factoids, and hey man, I'm going to be, I'm just going to shine on the air. Then UCLA comes back, and we just had to just completely scrap everything we did
Oh,
because they
wow.
won in the late going,
Yeah.
and we had to catch fans just running out of Oracle Arena, just kind of get their thoughts because it was a great comeback.
Yeah, it was. Wow, boy, I didn't think about that from your standpoint. How it's sort of like when Dewey defeats Truman.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
uh,
Well, I mean that does happen. I mean you have to be quick, smart, and versatile enough to be able to change your story like that.
well, I
So
remember.
the misconception is that we show up with coffee and our Danish, and we pick up these magical scripts that just somebody's just written, and then we voice over these highlights that have been just cut for us. It's just not true.
Well, how many times have you heard or seen, like when they show behind the scenes where, let's say, Game 6, I'm thinking, unfortunately, this is still sat on my radar, 2002, if I'm not mistaken.
The World Series. Oh, the Giants. Yeah, Angels.
Yeah, and they were gonna, all right, let's get the hats ready.
Right.
We're champion. And
I got a story about that too.
And the champagne ice, and then suddenly, oops,
Yeah.
put it away. Go ahead, tell the story.
Well, I was with Willie Mays, and the Giants had the lead that game,
Yep.
and Willie and I are right outside of the Giants clubhouse. We're watching the game on a monitor because it's toward the end of the game, so I'm with my photographer. We got to get ready for post game,
Yeah.
and so we kind of slanting our thinking toward the Giants. This great moment where it's finally San Francisco wins the World Series, and I'm next to Willie, and I go, "Hey Willie, what do you think? You want to do a little something right now? Just kind of get your emotions, And he looked at me, and his pet name for me is Pee Wee,
Yeah.
and he said, "Yeah, Pee Wee, let's just wait. I don't want to jinx it."
Yeah.
And son of a gun, that rally monkey came out on the jumbotron, and then the Angels came back, won that game. Giants were so deflated, and the champagne, which was in the Giants clubhouse, had to be whisked out.
Yeah. Exactly.
All the plastic had to be taken down.
That's right. Yeah.
From all those lockers, and then it just put on ice until 7, which the Angels eventually won.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Crazy.
See, now I'm going to blame Willie Mays for that because he should have. That it would have been.
No. Willie was. I mean, he was. I was the eager beaver.
No, but see,
Willie was the one that was like, no. Let's don't do it yet.
But if he would have done it, then they would have won.
Yeah, but everybody blamed Dusty Baker because when he came out to get Russ Ortiz, he goes, "Hey, you want the ball?" Yeah. And then that was the beginning of the end.
Oh, it's funny. There's certain games that are still that just resonate. Could be football too. Hey, moving on here. Let's. I want to try a little. Did you know? Did you know Cristiano Ronaldo makes over $9,000 every hour due to his almost $80 million paycheck?
I am not surprised. Guys like that. Now, there's only one of him.
Yeah.
There's only one Lionel Messi who scored his 2000th hat trick of his career just a couple of days ago. But hey, good for them. I mean, that's they're the draw. They put the butts in the seats.
Yeah, that's true.
They put. I mean, they're the brand. Yeah. So go ahead and pay them
$9,000 an hour.
Get it while I always say,
doesn't
matter what the sport is, get what you can when you can, because it doesn't last forever.
Well, that's true. And of course, the thing is with soccer, you can still go on to a lot of other careers. You're not going to probably be in the operating room with all these knee operations.
Oh no,
not as much.
No, it's supposed to be a quote non-contact sport, close quote, but we
know just like basketball.
Yeah.
Also, this is kind of funny. During the early 20th century, it was common for footballs to deflate during the course of the game. It must have been the original deflate game.
Yeah, I guess so.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Thought you'd like that.
Can you imagine? You got timeout, bring out the pump, because we only have maybe 2 balls.
Oh yeah, back then.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's not like they had like 20 balls, in some net ready to take out.
Yeah. Aaron Judge not participating in this year's home run derby, so I'm taking his spot. By the way, I didn't know if you knew that.
He's Judge is from the Stockton, California area. Did you know that?
I don't remember hearing that. No.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah. A late bloomer out of the Stockton area.
Yeah. But you know what's funny, and it's funny because they apparently you win $1 million, but first of all, $1 million to him, is not the same thing as $1 million to the average Joe. And I mean, they have to swing so many times. I mean, guys get hurt because they're swinging so many times.
Yeah.
Apparently they altered their batting a little bit to go ahead and hit that many home runs, during the contest. And apparently it's almost like the curse. It changes them after the All-Star game, where a lot of these guys they get into a hitting slump.
Yeah, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was in the home run derby, and he was never the same after that. And I'm trying to remember. I've got his face in my mind. I can't remember. But gosh, I cannot. Oh gosh.
This is one of those things that can keep you up at night.
Oh gosh, what
year? What year was it?
This was just only a handful of years ago. Oh my gosh.
Yep. Well,
it'll come to you.
It'll come to you.
Folks, it's not a senior moment. I really do remember the guy. But that does happen. When you're in your 20s, early 30s, you still think you're invincible.
Yeah.
I can swing like King Kong, and just be ready the next day. But no, it can catch up with you. And speaking of $1 million, not really much of these guys. And this goes back to Sports Econ 101.
Yeah.
As soon as some of these companies like Uber go public, millionaires will just be walking around all over the place.
Yeah. And what's it going to do? The rental market?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
crazy. Hold on to something.
So get this. I go down to the Silicon Valley to go visit my son, to have lunch with him.
Right.
He's working for this great company, and we go into the cafe, and drinks and stuff are free. The only thing you have to pay for is the salad or the sandwich, which are dirt cheap. And I added a flank steak for $6, and it was phenomenal.
Oh.
They have a gym to die for, and then they have these little pods where you can take a break. Oh, it's nap time. You ever think of that at CBS?
Well, yeah, right. And I have a story about that. But getting back to that point, research must have been done where it said that, hey, if we have a quote campus with these workers here, they'll go get their food, but then they'll just bring it right back to their cubicle and keep working while they eat.
I think that's part of it. The other part is just the whole holistic work environment where you say, you know what? I told my son, I said, you know what? I'll work for free for this company.
Yeah.
That's how much I like what they're doing here. They even had a little green leaf type thing to cover for the fluorescent light, because it's not good for you. I mean, it's just amazing. All the stuff
they thought of everything.
They really did. And of course, you got a few thousand people, on the campus. All right, so cutting to the second trivia question. What year / which Olympics first introduced handball as an Olympic sport?
Okay.
Okay, and I'll tell you, it was in the 20th century, so you don't have to.
In the 20th century.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I
just did a story for Channel 5 on handball.
And you didn't know this?
It was believe it or not, handball just rampant in the Bay Area, especially in the East Bay, around like Fremont.
Yeah.
And then the old story is that around 1996, for the Atlanta Olympics, that team poached all the best players who at the time were in the Bay Area to be on that team, and that sucked the life out of that sport here in the Bay Area.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Stay tuned. You're listening to Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back. They poached them, man. Shoot. Man.
I don't know about that.
That's what your wife says. You're the man.
Yeah. Any questions so far? Have you learned anything? No? Yeah. Okay.
So if you ever get a chance to watch CBS, a lot of kids nowadays they don't watch TV.
I don't watch TV. Watch YouTube, Snapchat.
He caters to the 45 and 50-year-old women. That's who watches That's what he says. Not caters to them. That's the average audience. So song ends here that Eve and I were in St. Helena. There was this restaurant. I can't remember the name of it now, but they had this
Look at the life he
phenomenal.
leads.
Well, so look at that.
I'm some slappy little TV sports guy, and he's running off to St. Helena on the weekend.
Well,
Business class, any
yeah,
flight,
I flew to St. Helena by the way.
And I work every weekend. Every week.
That's right, because you don't have money.
So and TV. Say goodbye to your weekends, your holidays, just taking off and going to whatever wedding or St. Helena. Forget it, because all the sports are on the weekends.
right,
Yeah.
So my weekend, my 5-day work week is Wednesday through Sunday.
right,
So my weekend is Monday, Tuesday.
right.
So we happen to have dinner, and we meet these very nice people. It was like an Indian wedding that was going to happen, and she's not even the bride, but
Yeah, beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful women.
turns out she is 2014 Miss America. It's the first Indian.
The one with the sunglasses.
The short one next to me.
Wow. Can you send this picture to me? Because oddly enough, we have a production assistant from India. Her name is Priyanka,
Oh yeah,
and apparently, she's like this big movie star in India.
really?
Yeah. So I'm just
Well,
yeah. Do a screen
Yeah,
grab and,
yeah,
and
'cause
send that to me, and I'll show it to her.
okay, because I have let's see here. Yeah, there was I took a picture, or I downloaded the photo from Miss America, and I look at her. Yeah, that's her, all right. Let's see.
Ah, okay. I've been waiting for this. I'm interviewing Billie Jean King tomorrow.
Oh,
It's another thing you got to give up. Billie Jean King she's like a big name, and not only just in women's tennis, but in women's sports. She's kind of like on the Mount Rushmore of women's tennis by herself. Okay, so but she was only available on a Tuesday that she's in town. Well, Tuesday's my son. I'm supposed to be off, but if I don't get her, no one will.
Right.
So I got to go in and get my gear, because I have to shoot it myself. I don't have a sound man, cameraman, whatever.
Right.
Those days are gone. But yeah. But it's a. I've never interviewed her before, so
I enjoyed that movie with Emma Stone, was it? Who played Billie Jean King? She did a good job.
say again.
Did you see the movie with I think it was Emma Stone?
Emma Stone played. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll ask her.
Yeah, she did. Emma Stone did it was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Emma Stone is really good.
Yeah, she's
First,
good.
I saw her in The Favorite. Did you see The Favorite?
I haven't yet. No,
Yeah.
I gotta download this stuff. Okay, you ready? And away.
The only my probably time is I wish we had more time. But I'm only 5:25:35, and I need to accommodate a student newspaper. Regarding your time, how much time do you need to set up? You'll have the last slot. Just let me know when you need access to the theater room at the gym. Just
Just in case you couldn't remember what we're doing. Little silly notes and stuff. Let me know when you're ready.
hang on.
Yeah,
Let me
sorry.
just got it.
He has to do all his own camera work. That's when he goes out on a shoot.
Just
Yeah.
set it up on a tripod or whatever.
Yeah. Flip the viewfinder. Set yourself up. Hit play, and boom, and away you go.
Not like the old
And
days.
then if it's Wednesday, I'm shooting a golf story at Stanford. This women's player, who's the #1 ranked college player, is going to be playing at Augusta
Oh.
just before the Masters, in the first ever women's amateur event. So I have to set up every shot because I don't have the luxury of a cameraman, you know, shooting us as we putt, chip, or whatever, So I have to set that up. So that's a little bit of a challenge. And then later in the day, I'm shooting a softball story in Livermore on this highly touted softball team, and that's that'll be more of a challenge. But
You'd
I'll
think
muddle
that they
through
could
it.
afford someone a little bit more than minimum wage, to help you out.
No, well,
You
it's
know,
it's different. It has to do with staff, budget, schedule. There's only a certain amount of photographers available, and they're farmed out for news. So
oh, yeah.
we get we'll get we'll get a sports shooter, say, like on a Thursday or Friday, or a Thursday, or like a Tuesday. But this particular, the Wednesday, there's just not one available to me, so I have to shoot it myself.
Did
If
they ever give
it,
you a cameraman?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It happens. It happens. Got it. Theater room. I'll be there.
So we just have a 13-minute, 45-second segment, and then we'll close out
I'll
at
be
2
there.
minutes. Yeah, we had the food that we had was so good. They had this special mozzarella thing that just was to die for. Someone told us that's the whole reason why we went there, and she was right. It was phenomenal.
Like what, like a pizza kind of thing, or?
No, it's just like a big baked piece of mozzarella, and then they gave you like some bread, with garlic, like butter and stuff.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, right?
All right. Let's do it.
Here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here along with Vern Glenn. Second trivia question was, what year / which Olympics first introduced handball as an Olympic sport?
I'm gonna go. Oh boy. I'm gonna go.
Kind of one of those famous ones.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 1984.
No, it's but before that. It was 1936.
1936.
And what was the
The year my father was born.
Oh, is that right? Okay, well that was
Yeah, that was Germany.
That was Germany. It was
Sure.
Berlin when Hitler.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was based on the request of Hitler that they introduced handball, and it did not appear until they got rid of it, and then it did not appear again until 1972,
1972.
which was in Munich.
Munich, Germany.
Back
Okay.
to Germany again.
Right.
Isn't that weird?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
I think Jesse Owens kind of did a little bit of a show to show Hitler.
It's funny. It's funny you should mention that. I did a story on that too.
Oh,
There were 17 African Americans on that Olympic team
Is that
in
right?
1936. But the
Oh.
only one anybody ever talks about
It's
is
Jesse
Jesse Owens,
Yeah.
because he won the 4-5 medal. But in fact, here in the Bay Area, there was one guy on that team, Archie Williams, who later taught at Drake High School nearby
Really?
for 20 some odd years until he retired. He won the gold medal in the 400-meter race, held the world record for a brief amount of time. He's in the Berkeley Athletic Hall of Fame.
I guess maybe
And nobody, nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because what Jesse won. How many medals did he win?
He won. I want to say he won
3 or 4, didn't he?
4.
4, yeah. And that's what's crazy is
I think long jump, the 100,
yeah,
the 200, and the relay.
yeah, and it's kind of interesting because we sometimes we talk about race on the show, but I think it's really interesting how 1936 is 11 years before Jackie Robinson in baseball, but yet we for some reason it was okay to have them in the Olympics. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
why did people draw the line, or whoever was in charge of putting, black people in the one sport versus another? You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know. I don't know. I just know. I know that particular Olympics. Archie Williams said that they were somewhat treated like royalty over there. Everybody was treated,
Really?
yeah, because you're an Olympian, okay, over there.
But
Except that if somebody of color won,
yeah.
Hitler would not shake your hand.
Yeah, I know. I remember they walked out of the stadium. Whatever.
Yeah.
So my mother-in-law was a big-time ballerina in New York, Ballet Russe de Monte Carlo, and they would tour all over. I don't know if they toured the world. They toured all over the country. And there was one ballerina who was really good, who she was good friends with, who was very, very light-skinned black. So probably a mixed race, and yet it was so slight. But yet, when they went down in the South, they basically said, "No, we're not even going to let you participate."
Can't even stay in this hotel.
Yeah,
you got to stay at the other
couldn't-
hotel down the street.
Or let them perform in a certain city, or whatever. It's like, my God, I mean, it's just, I don't know, crazy. I mean, crazy stuff is what I say.
Jim Crow.
Yeah,
Those were the times.
All right, here's one more. Did you know? Did you know a Belgium soccer club signed a 20-month-old baby?
No, I did not know that, Edward.
I gotta think it's either they come from really good parents who can show their skills.
Maybe the parents were so great, they're like, hey, their offspring, they're playing for this team.
That's it. Well, do you remember? See, again, we've got our intern Jens here, who is too young to remember this, but you and I will remember the Mike Douglas show.
Sure.
And Tiger Woods was on there at 3 years old, and he was there, I guess, because they recognized the talent. Because I mean, I don't think not like his parents were famous or anything. Right?
He was like a prodigy. He was like there's an 8-year-old kid right now of color, and he is a chess master. He may be the first 8-year-old. What do you call them? Grandmasters, whatever.
Grandmaster.
Yeah. So I mean, Tiger was one of those, and Mike Douglas, who I believe was a golf aficionado, had him on.
Yeah.
Banging golf balls on the show.
And I remember watching it too and going, this kid is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's funny, you mentioned chess. There was a young lady, I think she was like 14, again, of color, and she had the ability, she was so with her, photographic mind. I think I remember seeing this. Now, this is going back a number of years, seeing like a little video of her. She could play 8 matches at the same time, blindfolded.
Wow.
But she could remember how each player, she'd have to ask, okay, where did you move your king, your queen, or whatever, and she'd beat them all.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Blindfolded. That's wow.
Yeah, that's all I can say. Is wow. I agree. Okay, fans hassling players, quote, at work. Russell Westbrook.
Oh yeah, got into it. Yeah, with a fan, where the owner of the Utah Jazz had to come out and publicly speak before a game, apologizing for the incident and what had to happen. Yeah, I saw that just the other day.
And I heard, that the fan said, no, he misunderstood. I said X, Y, whatever. The thing is, what people don't really think about is, yeah, these guys are here for, quote, our entertainment, but this is their work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and yeah, he gets paid a lot of money, but he's still at work. How many times do people come? There was a Seinfeld episode of that, if you remember, where Jerry was doing his
stand-up. He was being heckled.
He was being heckled by Kramer's date. And just, oh, that's so funny! Yes.
Yeah.
And they threw him off, right?
Right.
And so he said. So I think George was the one who said, well, man, what would happen if you went to her work and hassled her? And he goes, I think I'll do that. So he shows up in the office and he just comes out with all these one-liners and he just keeps hassling her. He goes, well, hey, you hassle me at my work, and I hassle you at your work.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. Can you imagine going to the butcher? Cut that bait! You suck! What kind of a knife is that? Was that a butter knife?
Oh, we love doing this show. We have time. And Toronto Blue Jays taking steps to treat minor league players, quote, fairly by paying them 50% more than what they pay now.
Wow.
Because they don't get paid too much. The minor leaguers.
Right. Only unless you're a first round pick or whatever.
And then how does that work? They get some kind of big bonus, and then
you get a signing bonus, which you keep, and then you get your regular stipend or whatever, whatever your agent negotiates.
Which is like only a couple thousand a month. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
like when Kyler Murray got drafted by the A's, he was the 9th overall pick. The A's gave him $4.5 million just as a signing bonus,
Yeah.
which he kind of held and then put away because he was still trying to balance
Football.
his career at Oklahoma at the time. And then he won the Heisman, and now he's destined to possibly be a first round pick in the NFL draft. But had he remained with baseball, yeah, he would have kept that money, but he would have started in the minor leagues. He met bus rides, just everything that a minor leaguer would go through while you're waiting to get called up.
Of course, he go, yeah, no, I'm going to fly first class.
No. Now, remember when Jordan? You know who Michael Jordan is? Okay, well, he's not. Remember when Michael Jordan played baseball for the White Sox organization? The minor league team, he bought a bus, like a tricked out hybrid bus
Smart.
for them to travel from city to city.
Very smart.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, you might as well. I mean, think about the old days when these guys had to take trains and broken down buses. I mean, how can you play well when you can't sleep? Can you sleep on buses?
Oh, dude, I'm a dad. I can sleep anytime, anywhere, for any length of time.
Just when you get older and the kids get out of the house.
Yeah.
Then you got to go back to the old days of, I like this. I like my dad.
They say now. I mean, you certainly qualify. They say that when they're grown and gone, you miss it. It's so eerily quiet in the house.
My house?
No, I'm just saying, just across the board.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You don't have that energy, anymore.
It's interesting because my career actually, I'm busier now than I was back then,
Mm-hmm.
which I think was actually, I was very, very fortunate to do what I did, which was spend as much time with the kids as they're growing up so that, you invest so much in them and then hopefully they turn out well versus the other way around where, you're busy trying to make all this money and then you're never there for the kids. And then you have this estranged relationship. So fortunately, I do have a good relationship with the kids because the way I looked at it was, okay, so I can make maybe an extra $100,000 if I spent more time at the office.
Right.
You know what? It wasn't worth. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather come home, spend time with the kids, and then and I think it's worked out because I sleep well at night knowing that I think I raised my kids fairly well.
Well, the economy being the way it is in the Bay Area, as you well know.
Yes.
I mean, it's like a cycle now. The oldest one is in college, but when he's done, he's probably going to come back home. So yeah. Then the second knucklehead is about to go off. we got the third knucklehead that's a freshman in high school. It'll just be a revolving door.
Yeah.
If they want to live here.
Well, if they want to live here. Well, yeah. So my son does live in Silicon Valley. So He got a good job, and we love having him come to visit for a couple of days. But it's funny. I always thought that too. It's like, oh, I'll miss it so much. I always want him here all the time. And it's like, no. I mean, I love when he comes and visits. Same thing with my daughter.
I would be curious to know his thoughts now that he's in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Of the TV show Silicon Valley on HBO. Hilarious half-hour comedy show. It's kind of a parody on life in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Amidst all the VCs.
It's funny. We didn't even talk about all this college exam stuff that was going on.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's definitely sports related too. I mean, it's. I look at this and I said, okay, whether it's 50 parents or students, or 100 or whatever, it's amazing how much of a major impact that is going to take on everything.
Yeah, and I think as we peel back the onion, because I think the misconception is that the teams were heavily involved in this, whether it's the guy that superimposed his kid's head on a football player.
Yeah.
Well, the football team, they don't know about that. That was just enough for the college administrator that you are paying to kind of get through to the admissions department. Go, hey, look, this guy's an athlete.
Yeah.
But the teams never, they don't know about it. They ain't even heard of it.
Yeah, so, no, I didn't really think it was like the coach of USC or anything like that. But it's funny.
But the coach, the sailing coach at Stanford got popped.
Okay, and
he was in on it, but then again, he's dealing with a very little revenue generating sport, and he's doing everything. He's wearing a lot of hats himself, so he is for college
Gotcha,
administrator.
yeah, the whole thing. Well, I love the one where someone got a water polo scholarship, and the high school didn't even have a water polo team.
No, and the Marin Academy guy that was being passed off as a football player, and they don't have football at Marin Academy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, same
Yep.
thing. And it's like, how can these people pay hundreds of thousands of
Mhm.
dollars? It's like, so what if you don't get into USC? I mean, our kids tried to get to UCLA, didn't make it.
Well, I think
And
and you can speak to us because you're right in that in the business of things. There's some connotation where if you don't go to those top business schools, if you don't get in, then when you get out, you're just not going to get hired. Isn't there?
I think it's a fallacy.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think so.
I
if you want to be,
I have heard that there are businesses that will only pay attention to X amount of schools, and if you don't go to any one of those schools, then you're in the we'll get to it pile. As far as
there definitely is maybe certain law firms and that sort of thing.
Right.
Okay, here's our third final trivia question. According to the U.S. Olympic Committee website, which sport proportionately offers more college scholarships in the U.S. than any other sport? Proportionately.
Proportionally.
I don't understand what that means, but that's the question. Stay with us. We're Econ 101. We'll be right back.
Is that the same thing as saying Tampa has more strip clubs per capita than any other city in the U.S.?
Probably. You've been to Tampa?
Huh?
You've been to Tampa?
Oh, sure.
That's a. You ever watch Everybody Loves Raymond? There's a. Oh, and I hate that. I get the same. Went down the wrong pipe. Hate that on that, like small epiglottis. Go like this. Go. And it'll come up. Go let it all out. So yeah, everybody loves Raymond.
Boy, has Ray Romano aged over the years.
I know.
Young-looking guy, clowning around the Pebble Beach Pro Am field. Now he's
Still plays poker too, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's talking to his brother's mother-in-law, who's really kind of frail and all this stuff, and they don't really have much in common. But he explains how he's he goes, I'm a sports sports writer, Newsday, and he goes, she goes, do you ever have to travel? He goes, well, yesterday I just got back from Tampa, and I'm like, you've been to Tampa?
This was yesterday. Just I don't know if you saw this. This is funny.
Let's take a look at the 4 regional number 1 seeds. 3 come from the Atlantic Coast Conference: Duke, Virginia, and North Carolina, with the Zags joining them on the top line. As for the Pac-12, they got 3 schools in: Oregon, Washington, and Arizona State. Can anybody tell me what school I went to? Perhaps to be a top seed in the South region, where orange and blue. Just throwing it. Let's take a look at the 4 regional number 1 seeds. 3 come from the Atlantic Coast Conference.
All right, ready? Okay, let's finish this bad boy off.
All right, we're headed for home.
Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Edward Brown here. This is the last time for this show. Edward Brown, along with Vern Glenn. Last trivia question, and I'll give you $1 if you can answer this one. Ooh, this is the first time.
Wait, what, a whole dollar?
A whole dollar, and nothing but the dollar. According to the U.S. Olympic Committee website, which sport proportionally offers more college scholarships than in the U.S. than any other sport?
More college scholarships in the U.S. than any other sport, proportionally.
Yeah. See, I'm so tight that I can only offer you $1 for this one because it's a hard question. It's a very hard question.
I'm gonna guess
Come on, 5 seconds.
volleyball.
No, field hockey.
Field hockey. Wow.
I get to keep my $1.
You do. I can remember. This is way before I was born. I can remember you could get a McDonald's cheeseburger for $1.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, don't they still have some of these like 39-cent deals going on? Sometimes?
Yeah, but with tax, it pushes it up.
Those rascals. Yeah, $2 Chuck at Trader Joe's. Now
It's
three
not
bucks.
bad. Hey, you
It's
know
good.
what? Hey,
Very good.
after a couple of glasses, hey, it's
No,
okay.
it's actually very good wine.
Yeah.
Okay, here's our thoughts for the day. Sometimes it isn't what you do, but what you don't do that makes you who you are. And the quickest way to double your money, fold it in half and put it back in your pocket.
Very. Oh,
You like that?
words to live by.
That's right. That's almost like another
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer type.
That's right.
Type one. All right. Well, Jens, thank you for joining us as an intern here. He's just kind of watching the whole show.
I see. Well, we paid him by the word, and
Yeah.
thanks for your contributions over the course of the show.
Ooh,
Man.
I get to keep my dollar again.
Oh,
All right.
God, he just would not stop.
Tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective and asking more sports trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
So long. And that is
the show.
No.
Well done.
Bam.
That fun?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that Virginia hat. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
That's good. They pretty much give you a lot.
Now
of
last
leeway.
year, when Virginia got the top seed, I went on the air with that beanie. I was talking shit, and then they lost to UMBC, and I just ate crow. I wore it anyway, just to show that I could be a gracious loser.
There you go. They give you pretty much leeway on the show, don't they?
I think it's either I've been doing it for so long that they can't make me robotic like they make them today. But
Yeah, but who wants robotic? I mean, nobody even likes that. All right, say goodbye to the camera.
Goodbye, YouTube world.